to discuss reality distortion. It's okay. We spend a lot of time, so sometimes we have the same thought. Okay, I see good and bad situations to learn the lessons, to teach you lessons. To me, it's easy. It's easy to think negative. It is because we are past experiences. So yes, because of the amygdala and past experiences, the brain automatically is hardwired to say that's that. See it right there, and we talked about that using that, and it's also called somatic markers. So you take things that appear to be a similar experience, the brain puts it together and says, oh, if A plus D is F, then that must mean that this is what this is. So that's why you have to verify it and ask yourself, is this a false positive? Is this actually true? Be objective is one of the 74 principles of real leadership, and it allows you to look at everything objectively. Now, what I do as well is a reality distortion, and this came from Steve Jobs long time ago in the 80s when he was still coming up before he was Steve Jobs. And what took place was, I forgot which documentary it was, but they were talking about Steve Jobs, and it's reality distortion. And it's basically the refusal to accept limitations and challenges that come in the way or came in the way of his ideas, and to believe in himself that anything difficult can be overcome. And that's how we have so many of the things that we have, because he just refused. If he wanted something done, figure out how to make it happen. Make it smaller, make it thinner, make it pretty, make it aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And no matter what difficulties the engineers, the designers, the coders, whatever they had to do to make that thing work, he said it could be done. And they were stressed the hell out most of the time. But once it was finally finished, everybody felt a great sense of accomplishment because it did actually work. And so I'll use myself as an example. And I've told this story before. In February, March timeframe it was March and April 2018. Jiffy was just now starting out. Anytime you see a GIF in an app, you're either from Jiffy or I forgot the other app, but it was just getting popular. And so I found the benefits of Jiffy, and I said, well, I need to use this because I was using the Jiffies, but I didn't like them. And I said, well, I bet you we can make our own. So I ended up getting in with very few followings, no check mark or anything. I got in the Jiffy AIP. What is it? No, it's not A. What is it? No, it's escaping me right now. So I'm in the Jiffy interface, which means I could be on Twitter or Instagram, and it was connected to all the other apps. API is what it is. And I did that in about an hour. So my first month in Jiffy, I had 100,000 views. And so I looked and said, well, who has successful Jiffy pages? And at that time, it was Barack Obama, the NFL, and Gary Vee. They all had a lot of pages and a lot of views and everything. So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to beat Gary Vee because he was the closest person. I had none. He had a couple 100 million views. So I thought, well, let's see if I can beat him first. And so I made the goal. When we got to 100 million views, it took 7 months to do that. And so my daughter calls it Dr. Donna Math. She still doesn't understand how it worked. And I said, okay, well, if we're at 100 million, then we can get to a billion at the April 2019 mark. And she said, well, we're only at 100 million. That's 10 times it. Don't worry about it. It works. You just 10x it. We were at that point, we were making 7 Jiffies a day. I said, we just need to make 10 Jiffies a day for the next 5 months. And then we're going to be at a billion. And 3 days before the 1 year mark, we hit a billion. I think the page is at 16.6 billion now. Haven't really added anything. If you go to your phone or any of the apps, click on the GIF, Jiffy, and API. Yes, if you click on the GIF button and you type Dr. Donna in on your phone or any social media app or any gaming app, a bunch of my Jiffies are going to pop up because I have 4,500 of them. So there are all kind of stickers and actual Jiffies. Y'all call them GIFs or GIFs. But that was reality distortion because I didn't have a large following. I don't have a check mark. I will never have a check mark. I am who I say I am. I don't need nobody to fucking verify me. But that was a big, huge thing to be able to do. And so last year I wanted to make sure I hit 10,000 YouTube videos. And so I had to do a lot efforted to make sure that I hit that goal. Right now I have 15,000 Instagram posts. And so these are just BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals that I have. And I have to use reality distortion to tell myself this is possible, especially from my phone, especially for me and everything else that I'm doing. So right now, give me an example of you using reality distortion. And remember ... before you type it up. Tell me something that didn't seem like everybody else is like, what the hell? And it actually occurred for you.